This has been a productive year for me, and I managed to get a lot done. Some of you said in video comments that you wanted to see me do some more insights behind the scenes with me and my writing and how I run my writing business. So in this video, I'll be sharing a quick report of what I accomplished this year. What's up, guys? My name is Michael Around with Author Level Up, helping you write world-class stories better and faster. I create these writing videos because I believe that each of you has Stephen King level talent and you just need help unlocking it. If you're new here, consider subscribing and click that little bell to get helpful writing videos every week. And in this writing video, I'm talking about my 2018 report card or year in review. So you guys know that I do a lot: work, family, law school classes, writing, nonprofit work with the Alliance of Independent Authors, etc. I want to show you that I'm not, in fact, splitting my focus, but that everything that I do is intentional. To give you some background on what my focuses are as an authorpreneur, I have four main focuses in my writing business. Everything I do reinforces those focuses. So those are people, profit, expenses, and growth. People are the lifeblood of everything I do. My strategy is to serve, listen to, and empower the people that enable my writing business. I measure myself in terms of how valuable I am to other people. Sometimes a blessing and a curse, but it's important to me that I value people. That includes my readers, YouTube subscribers, podcast listeners, mailing list subscribers, people I meet at events, the people that work for me, etc. I love engaging with people, and it's one of the main reasons I make myself so accessible and respond to my fans. Approximately 1/4 of all the time I spend in my writing and my writing efforts is investing in people. That means talking to people, reviewing my videos to see what you guys respond to most, understanding more about the genres in which I write and what readers want so that I can deliver it to them and serve them not only what they want, but also what they need. That means, how are people interacting with my website? How are they interacting with my books? What about my characters resonates with them? How are they finding me? How can I create clear choices for them so that they buy my books or listen to my podcast or click my YouTube cards or take the action I want them to take? That's easier said than done. One of the things that I've done to help invest both in readers and in writers in a lasting way is serve with the Alliance of Independent Authors, ALLI for short. ALLI's mission is ethics and excellence in indie publishing, and their goal is to help authors put their best foot forward in the marketplace, which not only benefits them, but ultimately benefits readers. Ethics and excellence lines up with my own personal mission, so ALLI is a strategic partner for me. Not only am I helping people through ALLI, selfishly, it creates some connections and opportunities with movers and shakers in the industry that will be very beneficial to me in my career. The second focus I have in my writing business is expenses. The goal here is to streamline my expenses and operations to increase efficiency, maximize profit, and spend money strategically so that I can grow. Now that sounds very corporate, but basically, am I spending my money strategically or am I wasting it? Am I as efficient as I can be given my lack of time and resources, or do I have some areas of opportunity? For example, I realized earlier this year that editing my own videos was too expensive for me to continue. As a result, I've outsourced that, freeing up some more time for me to create new videos. But it took some strategic planning before I was able to get to this point. Another example, I had a hard drive failure earlier this year, but I lost almost no data because of smart planning 2 years ago to invest in several backup methods. Another important element of my business is minimizing risk, and so that's something I'm always reviewing on a regular basis. For example, I do safety drills once a quarter or so to test some of the controls that I have in place. So what would happen if I lost my hard drive? What would happen if my computer got stolen? If my house burnt down? If I lost my job? I'm always planning for things like this, almost to the point of paranoia. More on that later. Being strategic with my expenses and minimizing risk is one of the major reasons I'm going to law school too. I don't want to be a lawyer, but I do want to know how to think like one. Plus, my employer is paying for it. My ultimate goal here is to be efficient, quick, and create high quality products in as little time as possible because that serves my fans. That way, if I have the opportunity to go full time with my writing, I can slide into it and focus on creating content and consuming more content even faster and not have to worry so much about the nuts and bolts pieces because I've already figured that out, which I think is something that full-time writers struggle with when they have all that time. After all, if I can be super efficient part-time, then there's no stopping me when I go full-time. The third focus is profit. Put simply, how much money am I making, and how can I make more money? That means calculating royalties, monitoring my sales for trends that I can jump on, and figure out whether my marketing is actually working. The fourth focus is growth. This is where the writing comes in. The goal here is to create new products, books, videos, podcasts, courses, etc., whatever that looks like, maximizing the exposure for my existing products and bringing new people into my gravitational field. That begins with books that readers love. It means videos that my YouTube subscribers enjoy. It's about writing well, writing fast, and writing sustainably while also taking care of myself. And it's about expanding my reach, either through organic search, podcast interviews, professional speaking, whatever that makes sense for me at the time. So those are the four focuses of my business: people, profit, expenses, and growth. Believe it or not, that mirrors my family's plans too. My wife and I are always investing in other people in our personal lives, spending time with them and building relationships. Family is first, and that's important to us. Expenses are key to our family too, and we've minimized them in part to help pay the way for my writing, but also prepare for the risk of layoff or job losses, things like that. And growth for us is spiritual. So all the areas of my life work together in this really great harmony. And I don't believe in work-life balance, but I do believe in harmony in all areas of my life, complementing each other in unique and different ways. I'm not perfect at it, but I certainly do my best. And I also try to do the best job I can of taking care of myself. Combine that with eternal optimism on my part, and I truly believe that I can weather any storm. I'll give you a rundown of what happened for me this year and some of the things that I accomplished. So I wrote 350,000 words this year, slightly less than 420,000 I wrote last year. I'll talk about why that is in a moment. But I published 6 books this year, down from 12 last year, but that was a temporary decrease. Next year should be better. I finished an 8-month-long journey to rebrand my fiction covers, giving them a unified brand to reduce reader confusion when they see my books. So that was an expensive project, but I think it was a necessary one, because if you look at all of my early covers, and they were all kind of different styles, different designers, nothing really held them together. But if you look at them now, there's definitely some cohesion that I'm happy with. I published my last Dragon Lord series in audio this year, one of my best audiobook series available currently. I also ventured into audiobooks with my nonfiction, so Be a Writing Machine and How to Write Your First Novel, which honestly are some of the most profitable investments I've made up until this point. I actually went non-exclusive, and so I'm distributing them everywhere. I paid out of pocket to have the audiobooks produced. They're fairly short, but it's definitely worth it. And I'm very glad that I did that. That was completely opened up some new income channels that I didn't know existed. I also began using Publish Drive, getting all my books into even more markets than before. I did around 20, I think, podcast interviews. So I usually do 1 or 2 of those a month, so that was about average for the year. And another big thing this year is that I launched the Writer's Journey podcast in March as a way to create some engagement with my readers. And I did about 40 episodes so far this year, not missing a single week. I relaunched Author Level Up and published around 60 videos, not missing a single week. In fact, I'm just shy of, I think, 200 videos on this channel overall. So when I returned, I had about 4,500 subscribers, and right now, I think I relaunched in June. Right now in December, I currently have around 7,000 subscribers and should end the year pretty close to 8,000, which is almost double. So the channel is growing, and it's growing at a pretty good clip. So I did the math, and the channel is growing at a rate of about 15 to 20% every single month, and I'm consistently seeing more than about 800 subscribers a month now. So a year from now, my subscriber count is going to look much different if I keep doing everything I'm doing. So every minute of every day, someone is watching one of my YouTube videos, which is just crazy to think about. Earlier this year, my channel surpassed over 1 million minutes watched total. So that's a pretty cool accomplishment. I took over the Ask Ally member Q&A podcast for Ally. That's a monthly show, and I did about 10 to 11 episodes for that. So most of the year I was recording the show. I think I took it over in February. So Dan Blank and I co-host that. We do that about once a month, and it's basically just answering the most burning self-publishing questions. I did some quick math on it. I think we answer about 6 to 8 questions a month. So overall, that's anywhere from 75 to 100 questions I think that we've answered on the podcast. So that's pretty cool to have answered about that many questions that self-published writers have. I spoke at 2 conferences, one in Cincinnati and one in Las Vegas, in many ways launching a professional speaking career and another stream of income long term. So that's what I've accomplished this year, and it's not to toot my own horn. I'm pretty proud of the things that I've done, but I still got a lot of work to do, right? And so I just keep my head down and keep moving along. But it's a good idea to stop every once in a while and look back on what you've done, because a year is a long time, especially if you're working as fast as I am and as hard as I am. And so I just wanted to kind of share those things with you to show you that as a part-time writer, you can do more than you think you can do. It's just a matter of focus. So I accomplished a lot this year, and honestly, that's not even all of it, but I did it with relatively little stress. This year wasn't all about success, though, and I did have some major setbacks. In November of this year, I had the best week and the worst week of my writing life, and it happened in the same week. So I spoke at the 20 Books Vegas conference and did a speech on part-time writing that really resonated with the audience. I was humbled, and it was a really cool experience, and it was a great time, and it definitely opened some doors for me in my career, like immediately. So some really cool things that I can't talk about just yet. Anyway, when I got home, I discovered that my mom was dealing with some health issues that required me to step up and help. Then the very next day after I learned that, not kidding, my employer announced layoffs and that I may not have a job very soon. I don't know for sure, but it's possible that I could be impacted. So combine that with the fact that my wife also works at the same place and our lives changed dramatically overnight. Literally, everything for me is potentially in jeopardy right now, right? And there's a lot of things, a lot of like heavy things that happened to me in that one week. And I'm still dealing with the fallout of those things. And I don't know what's going to happen, but you know what? I'll be okay. I've always landed on my feet in the past. I spend my time trying to be prepared for things like this. You can never prepare for everything, right? But you can prepare to be prepared, and you just don't give up. I couldn't have predicted what would have happened to me in November, but I did have the foresight to realize a long time ago that something could happen at any point that could change things for me. I can't control what happens to me, but I can control myself. I can control my actions, my attitude, and my response, and that's enough. Anyway, that was how my year went. I don't believe in ending things on a bad note because I'm all about positivity, and I'm still writing and working on projects regularly. So all the stuff that I talked about hasn't really affected my writing output too much at this point. It's still business as usual for me, and the videos will keep coming as scheduled. In fact, my next video outlines my most audacious project yet, one that you guys won't want to miss. So I share all of this with you guys so you can see that I'm not perfect and I have my own battles to fight, and I know you do too. And maybe seeing what I'm going through will help inspire you to be better than you thought you could be, and work harder. So very soon I'm going to share my goals for 2019, but I want to hear from you guys. Tell me what you accomplished this year. Let's lift each other up and celebrate our wins for the year, because I know that you've been working hard and I want to hear all about it. So I'll see you guys in the next video, and talk to you soon.